Greet your neighbor. Today's invocation will be given by Don Noble.
I'd like to read the Rotary Pray for Peace. We all need more peace in this world, don't we? So please pray with me. Lord, make us channels for your peace. Where there is hatred, may we bring love. Where there is wrong, may we bring the spirit of forgiveness. Where there is discord, may we bring harmony. Where there is despair, may we bring hope. Where there are shadows, may we bring light. Where there is sadness, may we bring joy. Amen.
Welcome. It's great to see all of you here today. According to our secretary, Lynn, we have 12 Rotarians that have October birthdays. And I'm supposed to ask you to stand up since the cooks made a cake for you. So I don't know if you saw it when you came in, but I hope all of you got a piece of it. So with all the October birthdays in the crowd, please stand up. Well, happy birthday. I'm not going to ask anybody to sing. Okay, we gave up singing a long time ago in this club. We did a survey about 10 years ago, and the number one thing everybody wanted to lose was the singing in the songbook. So we're not going to do that. So at this time, it's Secretary Lynn and the Secretary's report.
Thank you, President Greg. First, we'd like to thank our greeters, Azumi and Sujit and Kathy for handling that today. It was great to meet and get to shake both of your hands. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. Also, would like to thank Kim Sayers. Where is Kim? Thanks for subbing last week. Really appreciate it here. You did a super job. I think Greg's ready to trade me in, so be ready. Third, Ron Omswitz has a guest.
Yes, my guest today is Brian Riley with the Planning Department.
Welcome, Brian. Joe Zecker and John Scott both have announcements, and while they are coming up front, we would like to announce that the Night with Ukraine has become an afternoon with Ukraine. They had to change venues. I think something happened to the churches they were planning on using, so that as the day after, November 6th at 3 p.m., it's at the St. George's Church still in Canton. I will follow that up, this announcement up with an email, so you have all of that information in writing. So if the Saturday night didn't work for you and a Sunday now does, there are tickets still available. So thank you.
Well, good afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, I'm John Scott. I'm assisting Frank this year with the veterans event that we'll be having on November 14th. Is that correct? November 14th. So on your tables, we have the handout. This is showing the 22 active Rotarians that are veterans, the 75 family members of Rotarians that are veterans, and 9 members that are gone but not forgotten. So this document is one that we put out every year just to kind of remind everyone of how, you know, veterans are all over among us, and sometimes we don't really know who they are. So this will be in the program that we put out on the 14th. But if you have any updates or changes that you can make to help us make sure that we recognize all the veterans who are members or family members of Rotarians, this is your opportunity to do that. So if you just make pen and change on this document and then leave it on your table, I'll collect it after the meeting. It's going to be a great event, so make sure you're there. Thank you.
So fall and the nice leaves outside are beautiful, and it also brings the Rotary food drive. And so this year, I am asking for some helps, volunteers, with the food drive and the Alvan Weed tournament. So right now, all the schools have their boxes. We got all the boxes delivered for the food to be kept. One of the things that I will need help with is volunteers to help loading the box truck. Paul Williams and Wooster Motorways will be providing that November 4th at the Wooster Township School between 9:30 and 10:30. We start to load the truck up at 9:30. And then at 11 to however long it takes at people to help unload the truck. So that's an important, that's where a lot of the most of the food comes from at one time. Worcester City Schools over the last few years have been delivering it themselves, and they bring a lot of the school children with them. So we usually we have people to people as its own helpers that kind of helps with them. So the biggest part for loading and unloading would be at Worcester Township School. We're also going to have some need at the Alvan Weed tournament games with the 50-50 raffle. Also need some help probably at the end of everything with the winning school for ice cream for them. And we're also at the tournament, there's a 50-50 raffle that we often do. And any of you business owners out there, anybody that knows them, we're looking for 8 to 10 gift baskets that can be raffled off at the event. So, and I'm also looking for someone that can help me volunteer to follow up with that and actually transport them and get those to the Saturday game when we will be drawing the raffle tickets. If you have any further questions or anything, you can email me. I have cards with me today. If you need my email, I'll probably get it through them. Thank you.
Yes, if there's any way you can help Joe with this event, we appreciate it. It's not easy to put on, and it takes a lot of manpower. And, so if you can help him, let him know. At this time, I would ask Josh Montgomery to come forward to do his classification job.
Hello, everyone. As you just heard, my name is Josh Montgomery. Thank you all for welcoming me to Wooster Rotary and for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. I'd also like to thank my dad, Joel Montgomery, for sponsoring me officially as a Rotarian, as well as Margot Braille, who's not here today, but longtime Rotarian. She would have sponsored me had my dad not gotten to it first. It's an honor to join Wooster Rotary because Worcester is my home. I love this place. I love this city. I'm proud to call it my hometown. I was born here and raised in or around the area. My wife and I recently purchased a home in town. She's the principal at Keene Elementary School. So our roots, our future are here in Worcester. A little bit about me, I'm a family guy. There are very few things I enjoy in life more than spending time with my family. My wife and I don't yet have children, but plan to start a family here in the next few years. But I enjoy doing all sorts of things with my parents, my grandparents, my siblings, in-laws. We vacation in Fulton Beach, North Carolina together in the summers, go to Ohio State football games in the fall. We attend all of the wonderful downtown Worcester events like Worcester Fest recently or Window Wonderland. That's my wife's favorite because Santa, or my personal favorite, Taste of Downtown, for obvious delicious reasons. My wife and I are also enthusiastic travelers. We were lucky enough this summer to get to take a trip to Hawaii, and even though I've just been going on about how much I love Worcester and it's my hometown, I will say the beauty there tempted me to stay, but then I looked into the cost of living, so here I am. But some of my favorite moments when I'm simply spending time with the people I love. I'm not a complicated person, like just sitting around the fire with friends or family, just chatting, or particularly in the winter, one of mine and my wife's favorite activities is just sitting together and reading books. I am an avid reader, both fiction and nonfiction. Although I have a confession, I have forsaken my nonfiction reading in favor of a lot of fiction this last year. I think I'm on my 10th or 11th J.R.R. Tolkien book, Middle Earth and the Lord of the Rings. So if there's any fellow Tolkien fans out there who want to talk to me about the Amazon Rings of Power show, let's talk afterwards. We have a lot to discuss, but only if you have about 3 hours, because I mean, we have a lot to discuss. But with respect to my education, I went to college at the University of Akron. Actually attended the University of Akron Wayne College for a few semesters, where I enrolled in classes taught by fellow Rotarian, Dr. Heather Howley. And ironically enough, I was in her public speaking class, actually. So I'm a little nervous. I'm sure I'm getting graded right now. But I graduated in Akron with a bachelor's degree in political science, criminal justice, then stuck around for 3 more years for law school. I was one of those, I think, rare law students who thoroughly enjoyed law school. I even enjoyed my 2 years as an editor on the law school's law review journal. Any lawyers out there who have done law review are probably rolling their eyes or at least scratching their heads right now. That's typically not something folks enjoy, but I did. But I've always been inquisitive. I've always wanted to know why our laws, our norms, our institutions, our governments function the way that they do. Law school gave me that knowledge, gave me those skills to understand why the world ticks the way it does. It's the foundation for the laws, the foundation for our government, our businesses, our norms. And I knew that when I finished law school, I wanted to use my degree in a way that made a difference in real people's lives. That's one of the primary reasons I accepted a job with Margot Braille at the Braille Law Office when I finished law school. Apparently, Margot was in a meeting with my dad for something many years ago when I was considering law school. And the minute she heard that he had a son that was going to attend law school, she made up her mind, or maybe she made up my mind. I'm not sure. I was going to work for her someday. She and her partner, attorney Elizabeth Kreider Wright, recruited me throughout law school, and they made sure that I knew that my home was here in Worcester and at the Braille Law Office, and they were right. The Braille Law Office was the right fit. As many of you know, Margot Braille built her practice on compassionate, result-driven legal care. And she really has emphasized that care component. Many people might not consider the work that we do, the work that I do, as the most glamorous job day to day, but it is extremely important work. We help real people with real problems. The Braille Law Office is what we would call a boutique law firm. We focus primarily on estate planning, trust, and estate administration and small business services. In my practice, I spend many hours every week just sitting at a table or on the phone talking with clients about their lives and their needs and their problems. I help families plan for the future. I help businesses navigate legal issues so they can continue their important missions and provide jobs for so many people. And just to give you a flavor, in the span of a week, I might help a family ensure that their daughter with special needs will qualify for government benefits and be well cared for throughout her lifetime. I might help a grieving family who's lost a loved one navigate the court estate administration process. I might help small businesses or a healthcare provider navigate the numerous employment law and healthcare regulation changes brought on by the COVID pandemic. I might help a driven entrepreneur establish their small business. And I might help a family obtain needed Medicaid funding to cover the cost of their grandmother's long-term care. The work I do at the Braille Law Office allows me to serve families and serve businesses here in Worcester and in the surrounding community. And that service, that's why I joined Wooster Rotary. Being a Rotarian is just one more important way I can serve and give back to our community, both here locally and internationally. I don't have to tell you about all of the good work that Worcester Rotary does and that Rotary International does. I'm still learning about all of that good work that Rotary does. Whether that's, locally, the youth scholarships, the parade of flags, the organizations that benefit from that, or the youth exchange program that allows us to expand our community internationally. Worcester Rotary is all about service, and I'm glad to be a part of that. And of course, last but not least, Rotary gives me the opportunity to meet all of you. I know many of you already, and I see quite a few clients out there, but there are a lot of you that I do not know yet. And I am looking forward to getting to know all of you and serving the Worcester and international community with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. We're glad to have you and glad you chose us. And I'm sure your dad had something to do with that. And welcome to our guests, Azumi and Suji, of course, and they got to be greeters today. So I hope all of you in the room had a chance to get a little closer and meet them. And then Brian, we're glad you came back. I hope to see you again. And we hope all of you enjoy the program today. And today's speaker will be introduced by Melanie Garcia.
Our speaker today is Sarah Starr Brink from the Wayne Center for the Arts. And Sarah brings a unique combination of talents, experiences, and commitment for arts and art education. Her involvement in arts programs and activities in high school and in college prepared her for highly successful administrative roles at Chicago's Ravinia Festival and the Cleveland Orchestra. Sarah brings a genuine lifelong passion for the arts, which began early on as a student at Triway schools. Since returning to Worcester to raise her family with husband Jake, Sarah has been in leadership roles at the Wilderness Center in Wilmot, most recently as the director of its Foxfield Preserves. Sarah began her role as executive director at Wayne Center for the Arts on June 15th, 2022. So she's even newer in her role than I am in mine, but she's doing tremendous things at the Art Center. Here to tell you more about that is Sarah.
Thank you so much. As she mentioned, I am very new in my role at the Wayne Center for the Arts, and I have really enjoyed learning more about this nearly 50-year-old institution. I grew up here in Wayne County, and I clearly remember from my youth attending classes and performances at the Wayne Center for the Arts. I've spoken with so many people, several of whom are in this room, about your memories of attending the Art Center when you were younger, or folks who brought their children there when they were younger. As I'm now raising my own children here in this community, I've been bringing them to the Art Center myself, and I was surprised when I started looking into this position that I had never run across the mission statement of the Wayne Center for the Arts. Yes, as an organization, we educate, we inspire, we create, but our goal is to enrich the lives of the citizens of Wayne County through art. I think that's a beautifully aspirational statement, and it was one of the things that I was most excited about when I took on this role. You might be thinking, okay, that's a little overdramatic, Sarah. We're talking about art classes. How could that possibly improve the quality of someone's life? If you took psychology class when you were in college, you might be familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Published in 1943, it dictates that there are 5 categories of human needs which guide an individual's behavior. Those needs are psychological needs, safety needs, love and belonging needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. But when Maslow revised his hierarchy of needs in 1970, he identified that there were actually two categories of needs. Deficiency needs, or those needed to avoid negative feelings in your life, and growth needs, which are required to feel self-fulfillment in your life. You can see that on that chart, he has added aesthetic needs, or the pursuit of beauty and creativity as being a necessity for growth. According to Maslow, our aesthetic needs must be satisfied before we can reach our individual potential. To me, this just underpins how important the work that we're doing at the Arts Center is to helping fulfill the potential of our community. So how is the Arts Center already working to achieve this lofty goal? Throughout our history, we've developed programs in a number of traditional disciplines in the arts. We offer classes in pottery, visual arts, dance, music, theater, and creative writing. We've also developed collaborations with other local organizations to provide opportunities for arts exposure and artistic expression to a wider audience within our community. These are wonderful programs. But how can we take this further? We want to enrich lives and strengthen our community. I'm approaching that goal from the following perspectives. We need to embrace modern, relevant digital art forms. We need to create an environment that inspires and develops creativity and innovation. We need to build a rich community around us through engagement and collaboration. And we need to provide healing through avenues of expression. Art is a reflection of society and culture. As our society matures into this digital age, our community, especially our children, are seeking forms of expression that reflect the world around them. I want to set the Art Center up to meet these expectations and inspire even broader horizons. Beyond remaining relevant in their lives, this will be incredibly important to those seeking careers in the arts. A study from January through April of 2021 found approximately 22,500 jobs available in the arts across the US. The majority of them, which was about 66%, of artist jobs with a salary over $60,000 a year were related to digital art and came from the technology sector. In fact, creativity is a vital component to success in so many fields. By exploring some of the skills needed for the workforce of the future through the lens of artistic expression, we develop the kinds of skills, freedom, and creativity needed to develop the innovation of tomorrow. By working with other nonprofit organizations, local businesses, and government representatives, we plan to push forward plans for the development of an arts district in the downtown area, inspiring more interest and drawing additional business and economic development to the downtown area. By collaborating with other nonprofit organizations, we'll open doors to richer, more exciting opportunities for our community. The pandemic brought to light a need for increased mental health services for issues like stress, anxiety, and depression. We're also seeing an even more serious need within our community through our collaborations with social service organization for art and music therapy services for issues like post-traumatic stress and other trauma. Art therapy can open doorways to expression and understanding that cannot be reached through language alone. We're developing both outreach and in-house programming to help improve the mental health and well-being of our community. These are simply my goals. But our mission makes it clear that we're here to benefit our community. To best do that, I need to know what our community values and needs from us. To that end, we're currently holding community engagement sessions. And we would really love to have your feedback. Our final public engagement session is scheduled for Monday, October 24th at 6:30 at the Wayne Center for the Arts. Everyone is welcome and encouraged to attend. We do require reservations just so that we don't get too many people in the room for a quality conversation. But if you would like to attend, please RSVP to Lynn Davis at lynn@wayneartscenter.org. Or if you can't make that session and you would really just like to provide me with your feedback, please feel free to email me as well. Would love to hear everyone's ideas, because only then can we really make our community a strong place. Thank you. Oh, gosh. Does anybody have a question? Sure.
Questions?
Thank you so much for having me.
Sarah, in appreciation for your time today, we appreciate you being here. Present you with the rendition of the rotary wheel with the four-way test on the back. They're made locally by students at the Village Network. Thank you very much.
Fantastic, thank you.
Well, we're happy to have our guests here today, and a reminder that next Monday's program will be Deanna Sticka-Nichols, whose topic will be protecting kids and empowering families. Together we can make a difference. She will also be providing an update on the Wayne County Children's Services and the upcoming levy. I hope you have a great week. We'll see you next Monday. We stand adjourned.